Last podcast on the left is all about the facts. So when Southern New Hampshire University came on as a sponsor, it was time to do some research. Turns out they offer more than 200 online degree programs, and get this, criminal justice and psychology are some of the most popular. Classes have no set meeting times, and tuition rates are some of the lowest in the U.S. Want to learn even more about SNHU? Visit snhu.edu/last. Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have trusted Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. Just tell Progressive what you want to pay, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Visit Progressive.com to find a car insurance rate that works for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
I was watching this new video on this dude who I guess he had tried every drug in the world, and his favorite drug in the world was meth.
Oh, okay.
And he said the first time that he smoked meth, he came his pants.
No way.
Yeah, and it just seems like I don't need that in my life. I'm already at a hair trigger. Like, I can't imagine just spontaneously just shooting like a little fountain.
Definitely not all methed out of your mind. Welcome to the last podcast on the left, everyone. I am Ben Kizzle. That's Marcus Parks.
Hey.
How are you, buddy?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am good. And Henry Zabrowski over here laughing too.
Big ass bowl of meth, and you're immediately like, oh, did I break it?
It is definitely a wild situation. Well, speaking of wild situations, we're on to Jerry Brudos part 2. He is the shoe fetish slayer, and the story just gets more disgusting from here.
So after murdering Linda Slauson in his basement while his mother kept watch over his son upstairs, Jerry Brudos moved his family to Salem, Oregon, coincidentally just blocks away from the hospital where he was kept as a teenager.
Now, this is my question. I do feel like there is like a psychological cycle here where he definitely blows up at activity as soon as he gets back to this sort of weird formative time in his life where the mental asylum like taught him that he could get away with his crimes really easily.
Yeah. What is it with Salem? It's a haunted place, huh?
No, that's Salem, Massachusetts.
Not all Salems. Not all Salems. I see. Okay.
Hashtag not all Salem.
Oh, all right. I apologize. Different state, huh?
Different coast.
All right. God. Haunted place. What is it with Salem, huh? I'm just asking the tough questions here.
Now, Jerry may have chosen this house specifically because of the ample space provided in the garage, which is connected to the house via an outdoor breezeway. And after his last success in getting away with murder, he knew exactly how to set this garage up.
Thank you so much for seeing us in Jordan. Thank you so much. And mostly, I love it. I love the hardwood floors. I love the pergola. But honestly, we're going to need 4 bedrooms because I need at least like 1 bedroom definitely just empty between me and my daughter because I just can't be anywhere near him. He's gross. That's disgusting. Also, do you have like a whole private like garage area for my quote-unquote dark room? Should I not use quotes?
Well, Jerry, you came to the right show, House Hunter Serial Killer Edition. I think we've got the home for you.
Now, first, Jerry installed a padlock on the garage door. Then, he set up an intercom system and told his wife that she was only to communicate with him through the intercom should she need anything from the garage.
These are massive warning signs for this woman, right?
Yes.
Well, quite a few massive warning signs show up in this woman's life over the next few months. Well, the reason why he told her to only communicate with him through the intercom, letting him know that she was coming inside, was that he told her that he had set up a dark room, which he kind of sort of had. And if she were to come barging in, she might ruin any pictures he might have developing at the time.
But also, he wasn't like taking pictures in the living room. You know what I mean? He wasn't taking pictures of flowers and shit. She never saw him taking pictures. She never asked any questions about like any of the origins of any of his private behavior. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Darcy's a weird woman.
I feel like you would have to be taking a pecker amount of pictures in order to warrant a dark room. And I don't see how his wife is just like, he got a dark room.
If you have a dark room, you're a pervert. You're not doing anything that should be seen by the public inside of a dark room. You are harboring secrets in there. It's called a dark room. It's not called a developing room.
I guess, unless you're a photographer.
You know, Ben, it's funny that you mention Pecker. Actually, John Waters based a character in polyester off Jerry Brudos.
The one who loved the shoes.
Yep.
Natural. I figured it out, Marcus. Believe it or not, I got that one.
Yep. He said specifically based on Jerry Brudos because, you know,
Really?
John Waters is a gigantic true crime guy. He used to go to the Manson trial every single day. He never missed it.
I love
So
him.
cute.
Now, as far as the attic went, Jerry scared Darcy away from that by telling her it was full of rats. Jerry used this space to store all of the bras, panties, shoes, and what have yous that he collected over the years.
Marcus, what stands for what have you? When you say
Right.
what have yous in the script, what do you mean by that?
What do you think I mean?
The what have yous.
Just
Bras, panties.
first thing that comes to my mind is, yeah, pasties, head clamps. I'm not really sure what else you'd use. What have you would be.
What have yous.
Jerry took it a step further, telling Darcy that every time she was out with her friends, she needed to call home before she was heading back because even though it was her house too, he always wanted to know when someone was going to quote-unquote pop in on
Red
it.
flags, red flags. He made a joke out of it after a while because finally she was like, why are you always freaking out about me coming home all the time? He's like, yeah, I want you to call so I have time to kick the blonde out.
I see.
Like it was a joke. But in real life, he was never going to kick the blonde out because he was keeping her as a living dead doll.
I understand. It seems like he is not possessive necessarily of his wife, but it's a different kind of emotional and abuse, right?
Well, he doesn't want to possess a living person. He wants to possess a dead person who has no complaints whatsoever, who has no needs at all. All he wants is to possess a body.
Well, I'm just saying the dead people have a complaint. They're dead.
Well, the real reason why Jerry got the padlock and the intercom and the freezer was because Jerry was finally going to realize the fantasy that he'd first had as a teenager. He was going to have his very own above-ground pleasure dungeon.
Him and George Clooney.
Now, this was the low-rent version of Jerry's dream. His most far-flung fantasies involved rounding up women in a big bus, taking them back to a complex dedicated to his own pleasure, an entire complex, murdering them, and storing the dead bodies in a gigantic deep freeze.
This is like when I fantasized about sleeping overnight in a liquor store when I was 16. Yes. Where it's just like you get to drink everything. But this is much, much worse than that.
He also realized that at this point is that he didn't have the funds that it would need to make as big of a complex. So sadly, this is a budget sex dungeon. And if you can make a sex dungeon on a budget, I mean, that's what what's the most bang for your buck?
Well, really, budget sex dungeons are the only ones that ever truly get found.
I really don't want to think about it, quite frankly.
Yeah, the expensive sex dungeons never get found.
No.
Yeah, that's true. When we're talking sex dungeon here, I keep on thinking about Toy Box Killer.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
It's a little bit like that,
Okay.
although it's like that, but it can still pass for a garage.
Okay.
Like, you can walk in and look at the garage and think like, oh, this place is kind of weird, but, you know, it's still more than likely just a garage, where in the Toy Box Killer, you walk in and you know immediately what that room's used for.
Toy Box Killers was made to be permanent. It is definitely for bile, where Jerry Brudos is more like for renting, so you can also turn it into a party room. It's very a la carte.
I see.
You know what I mean? And also a really good way to hide a sex dungeon is you just put it in the basement of a pizza shop and no one will believe you that it's
Oh
there.
my goodness. Some people will believe you and show up fully armed. I'm getting the feeling that it was like a speakeasy where he would have all the bodies around and then people would come in and he would hit a button and all the cigar tables and all the poker tables would just turn into really nice, shelves for books.
Now, not surprisingly, things started getting real weird around the Brudos house. One night, Darcy innocently commented that Jerry had gained a little weight. A little hurt, Jerry got up without a word, left the room, and returned a short while later dressed in a stuffed bra, a girdle, stockings and garters, and size 13 high heels.
Now, when I first read this detail, the first thing I thought that he would do is he'd come in and start doing the like that Castilian like board stomping dance that women do with the big high heels. But in reality, can you imagine this big brooding man just walking into like leaving, be like, "Excuse me," and then walking out, coming back in. This is Dad, by the way, and then he is in full female regalia, and then he just stares at you for like a beat of the most awkward silence in the world, and then it's like, all right. And then he leaves.
I mean, this seems, I'm going to say it, kind of fun. That's kind of fun.
How is that kind of fun?
Because he went and got all dressed up because he was he wanted to feel sexy again because his wife called him fat. And he said, I'm going to regain my beauty.
Well, actually, that is what he said. He came back in. He's like, does this make me look slimmer in the women's clothing?
She's like, no.
She just kind
There's
of...
always a point in these episodes where I'm like, I can relate to that.
She just nervously laughed, and then there was an awkward silence, and then he left the room, went back into his normal clothes, came back, sat down, and they never talked about it again.
So I see here that the Mets are playing the Dodgers this weekend. That's a piece of business that interests everyone in the home, isn't it?
That is a fun game, huh?
So 10 months after the murder of Linda Slauson, Jerry Brudos committed another murder of opportunity. This time, it would be 23-year-old college student Jan Susan Whitney who would fall victim to the shoe fetish slayer. On November 26, 1968, Jan's car broke down along I-5 while she was on her way home back to Salem after visiting a friend in Eugene. A couple of good Samaritans walking by stopped to help, but Jerry Brudos, driving home from work, decided to intervene.
Hey, so what's going on here? Seems like your car's like all fucked up. I was thinking of me and my buddy Brian here. We saw you like pulled over and shit. And we're like, what if we just like smoke weed at it?
I don't know if that's going to fix the car, but I like the idea of smoking some weed.
Yeah, dude. Fix your attitude, man, about the car being broken, dude. Because then you just fucking don't even care that the car doesn't fucking move, dude. And then the car becomes like your fucking clubhouse, dude.
Homeless on the street for 7 years.
It's more like I'm home more. That's an old Ben Kissel joke.
That's a classic bit. Classic Kissel.
Well, Jerry told the two guys trying to help that he could take care of the problem easy, but of course he needed to go home first to grab his tools. To lull Jan into a false sense of security, just inching his way along, Brudos took all three in his car, at least at first. And along the way, Brudos dropped the two dudes off, saying he could take it from there. He then drove to his house and parked in the driveway, saying he had to wait until his wife got home as he'd forgotten his keys. And after a bit of small talks, Brudos made his way to the back seat, asking Jan if she wanted to play a game.
Ugh, never good.
You never say yes.
No. Jigsaw is always like, you want to play a game? No. Never play a game. Absolutely not. You're going to end up in a vat full of heroin needles.
Anytime a stranger asks if you want to play a game, you say no.
Unless you showed up to play a game.
Well,
Unless
yeah.
you're in a specific area. You're in the back of a comic book store. You are at a baseball field where there is equipment also. Like, you can't just be an empty baseball field. There has to be balls and bats.
Yep.
Well, Jerry told her to close her eyes and try to describe how to tie a shoelace without using her hands. And while she tried, Jerry took a leather strip, wrapped it around her neck, and strangled her from the back seat of the car.
That's like in those old cars in the early 2000s that would have the automatic like seatbelt thing, and then every once in a while it would like misfire, and then it's like your car's trying to murder you like it's fucking Christine.
I do recall being morbidly obese, and that seatbelt did attack me a couple of times. But I think this is much worse than that situation.
Yes.
This is much worse. Yeah.
Yes.
This is a morbidly obese man doing the act.
Oh.
Not having it done to him. Tables have turned.
Well, he must be very winded then. I do think it would be kind of funny if there was a morbidly obese serial killer and they just like name him the windy killer, the winded killer. It's like, oh man, you're still making fat jokes about me, huh? Oh man, I'm the winded killer.
He's the James Gandolfini of serial killers.
Well, Jerry, after strangling her, he climbed back forward and raped her as she lay dying in the driveway of his own home. After that, he carried her body into his garage and dressed it up in clothes and lingerie from his collection, trying different ensembles to satisfy his need for the total possession of another human's body, taking photographs all the while. He He then committed necrophilia on Jan's body and hung her corpse from a hook in his garage, only a breezeway away from the home he shared with his wife and 2 children.
It's not just a breezeway. We also have a pergola. We have an outside grill. As you can see, it's all made with lovely reclaimed stones. I've got a one-person pool. People call it a tub, but it's like a pool. It's an outside pool.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things between the my dark room, quote unquote. I'm sorry to say dark quote unquote, and the rest of the house.
Yeah. I'm more concerned about the woman on the meat hook right now, to be honest.
Oh yes.
Very.
You would be.
Yes, because I'm a human being. So this is horrible stuff. He is brutal, huh?
He is, and he gets even worse.
My
For
goodness.
5 days, Brudos kept Jan's corpse hung in his makeshift dungeon.
Jeez.
Every day, he would race home from work as fast as he could to repeat the act he committed that first night.
Oof.
He then, just as he had with Linda Slauson, took a trophy, but this time he would take the term literally in a way I've never heard a serial killer take it. He cut off one of her breasts, filled it with sawdust, and mounted it on a board like one would do with a deer head or a prize fish.
Oh, my God. This guy is absolutely brutal. I didn't quite realize. I feel like the shoe fetish part isn't as bad as all the other parts.
You're right.
The shoe fetish portion, I don't see how that was the branding.
You're right. It's almost like
the mounter might
they
work.
could only write about the shoe fetish part in the newspapers.
Yeah.
And all the rest of it, it's really hard to say the breast trophy maker killer because
I
it
guess
doesn't
so.
sell like he wanted to. Also, in the transcripts of his, because we learn all this from his confessions, of course, because we're going to learn later on he's super egotistical and he loves everybody to know how
Right.
evil he is. And so when he made it, and it's him telling the cop about how like he would separate the breast and then he's like, but the problem is that the breast always shrinks down to a third of its size once you cut it off. And so you got to make it bigger with sawdust. And then you just have a bunch of cops that are forced to take notes on this. And I got to say, they are not it's not a pleasant audience. It's not like when you're pulled off the strip in Las Vegas to go watch like the remake of Everybody Loves Raymond and then you can rate it
right,
for
right.
television.
Most people enjoy Raymond. I like that spinoff.
But the thing was, as Jerry wasn't a taxidermist, the breast did not turn out quite how he wanted. He still kept the damn thing, though, and Darcy, his wife, actually found it.
Well, what the hell is that like? What do you mean she found it?
Yep.
She just left it lying around. He told her that it was just an experiment for a novelty paperweight.
He left a severed... What world is that? He left a severed boob lying around the house? This
Ask questions. Always
Yes.
never be afraid to ask questions. Like in a relationship, there is a half of your relationship, hopefully not half of your relationship, but half of your relationship is like 2 investigative reporters being together. You should not be afraid to ask the hard questions, like stuff like, why are you making breast trophies? Where do the breast trophies come from? And also, like, anything. Just like, but like also like, why are you so mad when we watch Price is Right?
It also it's not even conducive for a paperweight.
No, not really. I mean, it's just sawdust. Well, okay. Well, here's the
right.
thing about
Wait
Darcy.
a second. That's your problem with
I have
this.
so
That's your
many
problem with
problems.
this. It's not a good, because technically a foot would be a better paperweight.
Yes.
A pebble, a rock, anything. Anyway.
Well, okay. Well, take this perspective on Darcy. In this day and age, most of us would run to the police, especially after Jerry's, the secrecy, the padlock, the intercom, all that. But you got to remember, this is 1968.
There were still rules. Yeah. I mean, we had a modern society.
Yeah, but I mean, think of it this way, though. Ted Bundy was still in law school. John Wayne Gacy was just managing KFCs, and Jeffrey Dahmer was 8 years old.
I love this is how we put time into context on this show. With what Bundy and Gacy and Dahmer were up to.
I just see it all as a slideshow and hear that song, the time after time. You see all like the simpler days, like Glory Days, is playing over like John Wayne Gacy just making chicken.
Good Lord. All right. This is brutal stuff here.
Well, the phrase serial killer hadn't even been coined yet. And besides Darcy, she had no job, no skills, no money, and again, in 1968, she didn't believe in divorce. She wasn't even a high school graduate. This woman did not know how to survive without Jerry Brudos.
All right.
So Darcy, with no real frame of reference and nowhere to go, chose to believe Jerry's novelty paperweight story. And Jerry's carelessness...
It's a human boob! Anyway, I'm over it, but...
Actually, no, you're not.
Oh, okay, good.
Because it's going to come back.
But at the same time, you just lie and you just say it's a pomegranate. You just say it's anything but a breast. Because he kept blaming college students. He kept saying like, "Oh, this is my buddy's college art project that I have over here at the house." All it's kept being like, "What college students are you hanging out with? Is your side life like Revenge of the Nerds?" And I didn't realize it, where you're like a freshman in college even though you're 40 years old.
Right.
Well, Jerry's carelessness and arrogance goes even further than that. Brudos actually left Jan Whitney's body hanging from a hook in the garage for an entire weekend as he and his family left town for a little Thanksgiving expedition.
Ah, jeez.
While they were gone, a car veered off the road and crashed into Jerry's garage door. It cracked open.
Wow.
The police came and checked out the scene, but somehow either didn't notice or ignored what had to have been the ripe odor of death emanating from inside that garage. And one of them even took a peek inside with a flashlight, but still wasn't able to see a young girl's body decomposing from the ceiling. And again, it's 1968. If they did smell the stench of death, I'm sure they just thought it was a dead cat or something.
What are we inferring in these
Hey,
people?
Brian, come here, come over here. Smell this with me, huh? Can you smell that? Yeah, Rodney, come smell this. Come smell this, just like Brian told me to do. Best leave it alone. Yeah. No questions asked.
Definitely a cat. Oh, my goodness. I mean, this was one of those happy accidents. This car plows into the garage. It could have saved multiple lives if they would have just investigated.
Well, listen to this, dude.
All
It gets
right.
even weirder. All the cops did was leave behind a card with a number for Jerry to call when he got home because they didn't want to impede on his constitutional rights.
To have a sex dungeon garage with human boobs on the wall?
Illegal search and seizure, baby.
God, this is not about the Constitution.
It always is, Kissel.
Well, Jerry did call the cops as soon as he got home, but not before he took Jan's body out to the water pump shed, wrapped in plastic.
Honey, what are you doing? Do you have a body wrapped in plastic? No, honey. No, absolutely not. Of course not. This is a dummy because I'm making a kung fu movie. Yeah, where we're gonna use this thing. We're gonna throw it off the roof. It's gonna like we're throwing a real guy off the roof, and it's gonna be kind of fun and kind of campy, right? With those nerds that I met from the community college. It's me. It's Booger. A guy named Zippy. Another guy named Stanley. We're having a great time. One of them plays the guitar.
Well, I believe it then.
So there the cops were, in the middle of a crime scene without a single idea of what had been happening there over the last few days with the murder victim's body just a few yards away in the backyard watershed. That was how arrogant Jerry Brudos was. He could have just as easily gotten rid of the body like he had the other one and then called the cops. But I think for him, I think a lot of stuff for Jerry Brudos, it's like having sex in public. Half the thrill is almost getting caught, or the possibility of getting caught.
I also think with Jerry Brudos, it's kind of like the H.H. Holmes thing too, because you keep building up the stakes. It's because psychopaths get bored so easily. So every single time, it's just like, how can I like make this the most roundabout way to show just how smart and clever I am more than ever? It's this fucking superiority complex is going through the roof.
So this guy is treating this woman like the girl in the ring.
Yeah.
Just throwing her into this well.
Shed.
The shed. I'm getting feelings of like the Grim Sleeper, where didn't people know what was going on in the community? Was this one of those kept secrets that everyone's like, yeah, Jerry's a little weird?
Well, there were some people later during one of the trials, some neighbors did testify that they saw some weird shit, but eventually they decided that these people were just kind of looking for attention.
Oregonians are very private and they love murder. And we know that for a fact. And they like it when their neighbors murder other people because they hate when new people move into Portland because they think that they're changing the city for the worse. And so they're like, kill them, get them out of here. I know how they work.
A bold statement about an entire state.
Yeah.
Or a
Ellie
group of
Brown
people.
knows exactly what I'm talking about. The people that we met in Portland, they are all psychopaths, but very sweet.
Oh, yeah. Oregonians are they're a complex people, those people in Oregon.
I like Oregon.
Well, after the police took a statement and left, Jerry brought the body out, loaded it in his car, and got rid of it in the same river Linda Slauson's body had gone into and came back home. And just like Linda Slauson's, Jan Whitney's body would never be found.
Wow.
But remember, unlike Linda Slauson, Jerry had taken photographs of Linda, photographs that Darcy actually found. Jerry again had an excuse. Like Henry said, the photos of the dead girl, I'm just developing some photos for a college kid that I know.
It's
Of
still
a
like,
dead
even
girl.
if they were just
I mean-
photos from a college kid, they are of a nude woman in high heels. It seems like a very strange relationship that
Yeah.
you have with this child. That
Yeah.
you're just doing all these weird ass of a scared nude woman, because it's not like she's like fun and happy about it. She
Right.
looks like a woman that's being held captive.
Oh no, she was dead. This one on Jan Whitney. Jan Whitney was dead when they started. When he started taking pictures. The live photography would not happen until the next victim.
That's
but that's
not
the thing.
nice.
We can forgive Darcy for not knowing exactly what a dead body looks like.
I don't know.
But it's a little hard to believe that she didn't notice the pictures had been taken in the exact room she was currently standing in.
Yeah, well, I understand she did not commit these crimes, but my goodness, Darcy, you could have saved some lives here.
This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. You know, stigma shows up in a lot of different places. I know I had to explain to my handyman about the devil imagery in my home. I had to explain that in our home, El Diablo es bueno. And he reluctantly agreed. I think largely just because he was in my home and he was scared. But over time, he began to see, the devil can be my amigo. See, even in 2026, stigma can get in the way of a lot of things, right? My handyman almost didn't put up my floating media cabinet, right? You gotta get support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking the first step yourself because you're busy, worried what others will think, or telling yourself you should handle it alone. No, you need a team. Get therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform. Give me a space to slow down and talk through what's building before it feels unmanageable. Says take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of ethics and are fully qualified. So don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/lastpod. That's betterhelp.com/lastpod.
All right, I know what you're thinking. I like to go banking, but I don't want to give to these big old banks all the time that cater to the 1%. Well, go ahead and get yourself hooked up with Chime. It's banking built for you, not just those rich jerks. And they got thousands of fee-free ATMs because why pay to get your own money? Chime is working for you, man. You get your Chime card, you're going to get travel perks, you're going to get into airport lounges, you're going to get those chicken thighs. You know, every time I go to an airport lounge, I get chicken thighs. And you know what I say whenever I see a plate of chicken thighs? Give me more. Chime's going to get you those chicken thighs in these lounges, all right? Sure, they could serve other types of meat, but why would you when chicken thighs are so delicious? Chime is not just smarter banking, it's the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today. Head to chime.com/left. That's chime.com/left. It only takes a few minutes to sign up. Chime is a fintech, not a bank. Banking services for Chime Card provided by Chime's bank partners. Optional products and services may have fees or charges. Stated cashback for Chime Prime only. No minimum balance required. Checking account ranking based on JD Power Survey published October 20th, 2025. For more information on travel perks, go to chime.com/disclosures.
It's obvious we love true crime, but it does make us feel a little paranoid about what's out there, as it should. And that's why it's so important to get a home security system that gives you peace of mind. With SimpliSafe, you can stop crimes before they even start using their AI-powered cameras to identify threats on your property and alert US-based live agents to take action. like arriving in a helicopter in the night, coming down from the helicopter, zipping down and breaking through the windows with their big axes, and going through the house, ripping through the walls, finding the criminals. It's easy to do. Simply Safe has been a game changer for us. And the best part, there's no long-term contract. We've used it since the very early days of Simply Safe here at LPN, and it keeps us safe, doesn't it? It keeps all of our thoughts inside the building. Then there's the ones we let out because they have to go out because that's a part of it. But Simply Safe keeps the other thoughts safe. And for that, we say thank you, Simply Safe. And we want you to experience the same peace of mind as we, which is why we've partnered with Simply Safe to offer an exclusive discount to all of our listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/LPOTL. That's half off at simplysafe.com/LPOTL. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
So Jerry's cooling off period was, like it is with almost all serial killers, getting shorter and shorter. While the first was 10 months, the second would be less than half that.
It's kind of like when you cook a steak. And then you have to let it sit so that all the juices can get in it, right? That's what serial killers are like. Because if
Right.
not, you ruin the steak if you let all the juices out. For those 10 months, then now 5 months, the juices are getting sealed up in his guts. So
Right.
when you carve him open, he's just, molto bene.
So we have been discussing a sexually depraved serial killer, and somehow you managed to make a steak analogy.
Yes.
All right, very
So
good.
you're saying I'm talented.
I'm saying you found a way to get to food.
Yes, I'm hungry.
So Karen Elena Sprinkler was back home for spring break on March 27th, 1969. Her plan that day was to meet her mother for lunch at Meyer and Frank's department store and then spend a nice afternoon shopping. But Karen would never make it out of the parking garage, for there she met Jerry Brudos. Now, Jerry didn't say what he was wearing when he kidnapped Karen, but two witnesses from weeks before said that they had seen a gigantic freckled woman wandering around the parking garage, fiddling with her girdle.
It could have just been a large lady.
Could
That
be.
has been unnecessarily maligned by these people.
Well, this is the question now. Was Jerry Brudos transgender?
No. Absolutely
not at
no.
all?
No,
No.
he just liked wearing women's clothing because not all cross dressers are transgender. Some of them just like wearing skirts.
All right.
And Jerry Brudos was one of those people where he just kind of liked wearing women's clothing.
Yeah, sure. Easy breezy, let it flow.
It kind of became a job for him. Kind of like how podcasting was a passion of ours, but now it's our job. Where it's like he went from it being like a Tootsie, where technically it was a job, it turned into real life, to more of a Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
Where now he's in a Mrs. Doubtfire part where his passion is becoming what he has to do.
It's
You know what I mean?
interesting.
And that's almost
yeah.
sad for him.
It's interesting you mentioned clothing when performing your profession. You're currently naked.
Again,
That is a
Again.
part of this job that I am allowed
I
to
see.
do. I am allowed to be like that.
It's funny you mentioned Tootsie. I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. We watched it as a family when I was like 10 years old. And then afterwards, my father went on a long diatribe about how it's not appropriate to dress like a woman. But then two of his sons are gay. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, upon closer inspection, these witnesses that saw the gigantic freckled woman, obviously a man, as Jerry Brudos didn't have exactly what you'd call feminine features. But
Disgusting,
him-
Marcus. How dare you?
How dare I say that this pig-faced serial killer did not have feminine features? How dare I?
He was beautiful to himself.
He
And
was.
he does not need
I
to
may
be
be.
beautiful to anyone else.
Well, Jerry dressing up and hanging out in the parking garage, it shows that Jerry Brudos was at the very least scouting, as he was no longer content with just chance encounters like his two previous murders had been. Now, his first choice that day had been a cute brunette wearing a miniskirt and heels walking into Meyer and Frank's, but after he parked his car to go look for her, he couldn't find her anywhere. He walked back out to the garage and saw Karen Sprinkler getting out of her car. She wasn't exactly his type, but he decided she'd have to do. And just as she was about to walk into the store, Jerry stood in the doorway and pulled a gun on her. He told her that if she didn't scream and just came with him, he wouldn't hurt her, and so she followed him to his car and got in.
And I actually heard that he got this tip from, it's called How to Date Like a Libertarian was the name of the book. And it was very, very...
I don't think you know what a libertarian is.
I don't know if libertarians know what libertarians are.
I know that I'm wearing a libertarian's uniform right now.
Again, no clothes at all, except for headphones.
So Jerry drove her back to his house, took her inside, and told her to strip. He forced her at gunpoint to model in various lingerie from his collection as he took pictures before tying a noose around her neck. The other end of the rope was attached to a hook on a come-along winch. Then he slowly ratcheted the rope inch by inch until her toes could no longer touch the ground, and he left her there to die as he went inside for lunch and a cartoon.
Oh, God. And you know it was Popeye.
Yeah,
it was definitely Popeye because that's what would keep my attention.
I could see that. Maybe Animaniacs.
No, this was 1968. No
I know.
Animaniacs.
No, well, let's just pretend. I love Animaniacs. It holds up. So this guy, first of all, it's interesting that he did all this on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
Second of all, he was so calm, he could just go eat lunch while this woman is dying in his shed or in his garage.
Well, this all happened at like noon.
Yeah, it was like in the middle of the afternoon, right? It was like 1 p.m. He was very like his whole thing was about having a superiority complex. He loved the idea of just doing it and then walking away like a king while someone else was essentially the winch and the rope were doing the hard work. He wasn't noon fuck all. It was like he was supervisor. He was immediately office spacing his own murders because he could.
Well, when he got back, she was dead. Door to death. Karen Sprinkler's ordeal had lasted an hour.
Now, this may be actually a controversial thing, but when I first saw the term come-along winch, I thought that it was a job at a Ren fair.
Ah, I see. I've never been to one of those, but I'd like to go.
They're really fun.
Yeah, I've heard they're good
fun.
times. A lot of meat on sticks.
It's where we can be ourselves, Kissel.
All right, I'm just concerned that someone cosplaying as a king would make me a bench, and then they sit on me, and I would be so upset the whole time.
Just because you're in the Ren Fair doesn't mean you're all of a sudden in medieval times again. They have the same laws that we have here in America.
If a king makes you a bench, you've got to be the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry again cut off the breast, hoping to give his paperweight gag one more shot.
Jeez.
This one was a little more successful, so he displayed it in his home on his mantle in full view for all the world to see.
Oh, my
So
God.
what is going on with the wife here? She has got a boob mounted on the wall in their living room. At some point, she should speak up, right?
The boob's mounted in the garage. The boob in the
There are
living
boobs mounted in the house. Whenever there's a boob
mounted,
mounted,
it's just sitting on the mantle.
Yeah.
It's a different than a mount.
She's just got a Republican senator's wife's attitude, which is laissez-faire. You know, just like letting it be whatever it's
Yep.
going to be.
don't go in the basement, don't go in the garage. I'm Mitch McConnell's wife.
But you just don't want to go in there because it's just filled with his obnoxious toy trains.
No, that's possible.
But before Jerry Brudos got to that project, he had to get rid of the body. As he cut off the breasts, he stuffed her bra with brown paper towels to keep the wounds from bleeding all over his car seats. He then drove the body to the Bundy Bridge, tied it to an engine block, and pushed the bundle over the railing into the Long Tom River. Now, you know, between Bundy Bridge, Ted Bundy, Bundy Drive, where Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman were murdered, and Carol Bundy of the Sunset Strip Killers, I'm starting to think maybe there's something fucking up with this Bundy name.
Yep, and think about Al Bundy and the group that he had, No Ma'am.
No, ma'am. Which is very inappropriate, very, very inappropriate. That's why I say if you see a Bundy, change it to a Bumdy.
Oh,
Give it an M.
The Bumby family sounds like they're always late to Six Flags. They're rushing. God dang it, we're Bumbies.
It's a family that's all mentally handicapped, but they call themselves hobbits, and that's how they hide it.
So less than a month after Jerry Brudos murdered Karen Sprinkler in his garage, he attempted his third murder, again by trying to take a woman hostage in a parking garage. But this time, he would fail.
Good.
24-year-old Sharon Wood was walking to her car on the way to meet her soon-to-be ex-husband to discuss divorce proceedings when she heard footsteps behind her. They got closer and closer until she felt a tap, tap, tap on her shoulder. She turned around to see Jerry Brudos pointing a gun. He again said if she didn't scream, he wouldn't hurt her, but Sharon decided there was no way in hell she was going with this guy, so she fought back and screamed as loud as she could.
You just cannot fight a woman on the way to a divorce.
No, never mess with someone going through a divorce. She has been fighting for a year, at least. Never mess with a mother and her baby or a person going through a divorce. They have a hair trigger.
Yes.
And they are ready to kill.
That's what she said. She said that she was full of adrenaline. And so when Jerry Brudos, when this dumpy shit came up and pointed a gun at her, she snapped.
Yeah.
She just lost it.
I mean, she must have like slowly done like kind of a one of those really cryptic laughs where it's like, huh. You're trying to kill
Today.
today. Huh? You want to kidnap another man, huh? Another man wanted to kidnap me for a couple of hours, huh? Maybe take my life away, huh?
Faced, freckled piece of shit. I could see your panties hanging out of your pants. You want to fuck with me today? Fuck with Sharon today?
Well, ma'am, I did not know you were going through a divorce, ma'am.
So Brudos put his hand over her mouth, but Karen bit down hard and didn't let go. Jerry then grabbed her hair with his other hand and slammed her head on the pavement to try to pry her loose, but Sharon had bought herself enough time, for at that moment a car came driving into the garage and Brudos got scared and ran away. And when police arrived, the woman had 3 words to describe her attacker: big, red, and freckled.
I don't like it.
You know, if you combined all 3 of us,
Right.
we would become Jerry Brudos. We
Yeah.
are the Captain Planet team of Jerry Brudos.
Physically.
Yes, of course, physically. And that's kind of what it irks me. I'm just going to say that about this entire story is his physical description.
Size of Ben, hair of Henry, freckle of Marcus.
Good Lord.
And it's also,
What are we going to do with all these boobs that we have to mount on the wall?
oh, God.
So the next day, Brudos tried to kidnap a 15-year-old girl, but she too got away again, given the big red freckle description. Then Brudos tried for a 12-year-old girl, but she got away as well. After 3 unsuccessful kidnappings in a row, Jerry decided that maybe brute force wasn't his forte,
Right.
and so he reverted to what had worked the first 2 times: trickery.
At this point, he's really jacked up because he tried to basically not lower his standards, but do the thing of being like, I'm going to make this easier for me by making my victim younger and younger, and he kept fucking it up. So now he's like horny and mad and just raring to go, and I guess, and then he moves towards being a Gandalf, like he moves towards like being a card magician.
Oh, I see. Kind of the Chris Angel of serial killers, huh? But now this is the first time he's gone that young, right? I mean, because it's very. I'm just gonna say, you know what, Marcus?
What?
I denounce Jerry Brudos and his actions.
Very strong denouncement.
Thank you.
So what Jerry did for his next trick is he bought a fake police badge and a fake police uniform, counting on the public's trust of institutions to catch a victim. And he found that victim in 22-year-old Linda Sally. Now, since Jerry's cover was essentially blown in parking garages across the greater Salem area, he headed up to Lloyd Shopping Center in Portland. And there, on April 23rd, 1969, he found Linda Sally, who had just bought presents for her boyfriend's birthday. And according to Jerry, he walked up to her, flashed his fake badge, and told her there had been a rash of shoplifting cases at the mall recently, and that she matched the description of the prime suspect.
Hello, my name is Officer Brudos. You may know me. This is my badge right here. I'm part of the FBI Female Body Inspector. It's a joke I've had since I was a kid. It's funny. No, I'm really with the Federal Bureau of Inspection. Is that the term, inspectors?
Yes. Jerry Brudos. So he convinced this woman that he was a cop somehow.
Well, he had the fake badge, he had the fake uniform, and this is 1968. People, I mean, the trust in the public institutions was starting to fall just a little bit.
Yeah,
but you know, some girl living in Salem, Oregon, some guy in a cop uniform with a badge says, "Come with me." Probably gonna go with him.
But it's not like he has a cop car. Or any information or understanding of what being a police officer is?
Yeah, he did not. But the thing is that at this point, this girl's probably more afraid of getting into trouble than she is of getting murdered. You know, that's a much more reasonable thing to go through her head. It's like, I'd better go with this cop or else I might get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. And if I just go with this guy, then nothing bad is going to happen to me. Yeah. And that's the great irony of it, is her trying to prevent something bad from happening is what actually leads to her murder.
Yeah.
Never trust anyone.
That's right.
Never trust anyone.
You know-
I want to see the cop car. I want to see the numbers on the badge.
Yep.
If I'm going into an ambulance, I want to you better check them sirens.
Yep.
Before I believe that this is an ambulance.
I do not trust that I am being arrested by a police officer until I am fully beat up, in handcuffs, sitting in jail. And then I say, I think they might have been real cops.
You got me.
You got me, guys.
I trust you now.
No, I agree. Don't trust anyone. All we have to do is follow Stone Cold Steve Austin's t-shirts.
Which is?
DTA. Don't trust anybody. Anything that can fit on a Stone Cold Austin t-shirt, that's all you need.
Well, if Linda Sally's fear shifted from getting into trouble to physical harm as they drove an hour back to Salem instead of the police station, she didn't say a word on the entire drive, according to Jerry. And she didn't say a word when Jerry directed her to enter his garage. There, he tied her up and went to eat dinner.
He's always doing this stuff hungry. Like you said, Kissel. It was like I was reading about like Terry Crews. He wakes up and he works out first thing and he doesn't eat till 2 p.m. He's doing all this hungry.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I guess it's sort of like a Snickers commercial here, the Jerry Brudos edition, which is, it would be a dark line of commercials for Snickers to go down.
Call me a squirrel, 'cause I'm covered in acorns. That's right. So many people are focused on where their money is today. And Acorns is the financial wellness app that cares about where your money is going tomorrow. Let Acorns work for you. You put acorns in the ground and you're gonna get trees tomorrow. That's right, investments. And with the Acorns potential screen, you could find out what your money is capable of. I always do that. I'm like, I want to invest in something that I like. Let's say cheeseburgers. Okay? That's kind of hard to do. Acorns will help you find a cheeseburger that is right for you. So sign up now, and Acorns will boost your new account with a $5 bonus investment. Wow! Join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $27 billion with Acorns. Head to acorns.com/left or download the Acorns app to get started. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 2 compensation provided. Potential subject to various factors such as customers' accounts, age, and investment settings. Does not include Acorns fees. Results do not predict or represent the performance of any Acorns portfolio. Investment results will vary. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/left.
You know, I rip around in the bed. You might actually not be surprised by this, but I'm a restless sleeper. I roll back and forth like an alligator with a wounded deer. But something's changed in my house, and it's thanks to Boll and Branch. You know, people keep their bedding way longer than they should. It's because people are afraid of change. Not me. I burn my sheets once a week, but I don't need to, because Boll and Branch's signature organic cotton sheets, pillows, blankets, and comforters are all designed to be breathable, incredibly soft. They get better over time. Start with the signature sheets. You're going to buy 2 sets so you can rotate them. Come on, you're going to want to. The moment you get into bed, you'll notice a difference. I know I did. I just got fresh from the bath. I was fully lotioned. And sliding into those sheets kind of felt like, to be honest, I felt like the luckiest pasta filling in the whole world. All right, they're really good. You will like them. You will feel like a brand new laid chicken. Which is, we're all going for it. Just trying to be a hot chick again. Sleep cooler this summer with Boll and Branch during their annual summer event. For a limited time, get 20% off site-wide at bollandbranch.com/left with code LEFT. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/left. Code LEFT to take 20% off. bollandbranch.com/left, code LEFT. Exclusions apply.
Hey there, everybody. I want to talk to you about horticulture. Yeah. Did you know that Fast Growing Trees is America's largest and most trusted online nursery? I did it. I got trees from them. I got bushes to cover up that stinky wall that my neighbor has in my house. It looks good. It's really going nice. But last year, I got an avocado tree, and woo, doggy, she grow fast. She grow real fast. It's budding already. It's been a year. Usually it takes a little bit longer than that. You know what? I don't even know if that's true or not. But it is budding, and it is growing. And you know what I did was I rent. I don't own my home, so I put it in a pot so I could take it with me, and it could be with me for the rest of my life. And now I got avocados forever. And just like Forrest Gump says, that's one less thing. All right, so go on to Fast Growing Trees and get yourself a tree that you want to see get tall super, super quick. Right now, they have great details on spring planting essentials, up to half off on select plants. And listeners to our show get 20% off their first purchase when using the code LEFT at checkout. Offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply. FastGrowingTrees.com.
Well, after Jerry got back from dinner, he found that Linda had broken free from her ropes. But instead of trying to escape or use the phone that was right there in the garage, Linda was just sitting there waiting. I mean,
What is going on here?
Well, this might seem a little baffling,
It
but
seems extremely baffling. Just get out of there.
well, it's actually a well-documented reaction to kidnapping. I read this article. It was published in the Journal of the Royal Society of Medicine.
Sounds like they focus on spina bifida the most.
Very good. Very good, Marcus.
Thank you. But these two writers, David Alexander and Susan Klein, they wrote that in some kidnappings, certain personality types will respond with what's called frozen fright. In frozen fright, the victim's normal emotional reactions are completely paralyzed. In more extended kidnapping scenarios, some people suffer from what's called learned helplessness, in which the person believes nothing they do can help their situation. And it's very possible that Linda Sally fell victim to this symptom almost immediately upon figuring out that Jerry Brudos was definitely not a police officer and definitely meant her harm, because, as far as it could be with her, she was just waiting for him to take her home. She's like, well, I guess I'm just here, but if I sit here and wait, then maybe he'll just take me home and not hurt me.
Yeah, and do whatever he wants. We'll get this over with, and then this will be over. And at the same time, Jerry Brudos is looking at all this as that it's technically fulfilling his even deeper fantasies, because there's a part of him where he sees that she's broken away and hasn't escaped, and he's like, she's flipped. She now loves me. This is all consensual. This is all great, and it's a thing that he always wanted, like total control over someone. And at the same, but he's also, a very sick person.
Well, the thing is about Jerry is that, he liked her being so submissive, but what he really wanted to do is he wanted to possess the body totally. He didn't want a living woman. He just wanted the body. He just wanted a doll. So he tied her back up. He looped a noose around her neck, just as he had with Karen Sprinkler, and again slowly winched the rope along until she choked to death, and again he committed necrophilia. But this time he decided to try an experiment. He hung her corpse on a hook, stuck hypodermic needles into her rib cage, and ran electricity through the metal. He said he wanted to see if he could use the current to make the corpse, quote-unquote, dance.
Okay, so he's got this woman acting like, I believe, Kim Basinger in Tom Petty's Last Dance with Mary Jane.
Kind of, sort of.
So he's dancing. Again, what is happening? He's in a garage. Don't the neighbors notice, or the family? At some point, you have to understand there's like a bunch of experiments going on in this garage, and it's not like totally normal.
What's he building?
What's he building? And then you open it up, and you just see him dancing with a corpse.
Well, no, not literally dancing. When I say dance, he said, what was the exact quote? He said he wanted to watch her jump like a frog in a skillet.
Yeah. He didn't think he was gonna plug her in and she was gonna turn into Lady Gaga. You know what I mean? And that's fucked up to say.
That's
But
awful
he didn't
to say.
think that. He thought it was just. He thought it was gonna wiggle around, but it didn't because he didn't have enough He didn't have enough current, or just whatever. He's just bad at it.
Right. We do dark humor on the show. That's what I always say.
We do.
We do.
But I will say, I scream for hours in this room in my apartment complex, and no one says anything.
Yeah.
Except someone did ask me. I was at the community grill, and it was like I was grilling something in the front of my apartment complex, and someone walked past and asked me if I was the guy who's always screaming in accents, and I said yes.
Wow. Well, that's an interesting way to call you racist.
I am just saying that they are trapped in here with me. I'm not trapped in here with them.
So when the body did nothing that Jerry wanted it to, he took it down and again threw it over the Bundy Bridge, weighed down by a Chevrolet transmission. And thankfully, Linda Sallee would be the last victim of the shoe fetish slayer.
Oh, thank goodness.
And within 2 months, Jerry Brudos would be behind bars.
Yeah.
Now,
It definitely doesn't seem like a good advertisement for Chevy. I think if you're Chevy,
I was very irresponsible for them to do the commercial where it showed like a woman's undeformed body floating in a plastic tarp, and it was tied with a chain to an engine block, and they lifted it up and they're like, Hyundai, no wonder it didn't sink. It's not made of the right material.
Like a rock. I don't think that's what they meant with the Like a Rock slogan. Yes. If you are Chevy, you want to distance yourself from this character.
You very much do. And you know what? I say that Jerry Brudos was caught within 2 months. We really haven't mentioned it so far, but the cops have been meticulously searching for all of these women this entire time. I mean, the cops in this story are super cops. These guys were one hell of a team. Well, the thing was, though, is that the bodies of Linda Slauson and Jan Whitney, they were never found, as we said. So there weren't really many clues to go on with them. The only thing anyone knew about where Linda Slauson went was the general neighborhood where she went to go sell the encyclopedias because her company didn't keep records of the exact houses their salesmen went to. And Jan Whitney had just seemed to vanish into thin air from a broken down car. And the two dudes who could have identified Jerry from Jan Whitney's broken car had probably split by that point, never knowing anything had gone wrong.
Hippies have the memories of goldfish. They only remember the most righteous bong hit they've ever taken, and how long it is what is the longest they've ever noodled, which is, I've heard, at its peak, is 7 hours and 14 minutes, is the longest single string of noodle that a hippie's ever done.
Wow. So it's fortunate it wasn't worse. Because like you were saying with the good police work here, but these guys could have probably stopped all of this from happening in the first place.
I mean, if they would have seen when the pictures of Jan Whitney went up around town, if they would have seen the pictures and like, oh, that was that girl, and she went off with that guy, then they very much could. They very well could have caught Jerry Brudos after the second murder. But unfortunately, either the guys didn't remember it, or they weren't around, or just didn't say anything, just didn't feel like saying anything.
I'm going to go with Henry and say they probably just didn't remember it.
Yes.
Well, all that changed when the body of Linda Sallee was found floating in the Long Tom River. The body had been weighed down, but Jerry had botched the job, so the corpse was spotted by a couple of citizens out on a father-son fishing trip.
Nothing brings a father and son closer together than finding a nude dead woman's body, because you can see how each other reacts.
I guess so.
If you know that something's wrong with your son, if immediately jumps on it and starts chewing on it like it's a cedar wheel in a hamster cage.
Yeah, you got some issues with your kid there. I used to go fishing with my father, but we both hated it.
So why did you go?
I have no idea. He's an immigrant, so he just wanted to do an American thing. And then we hate worms and water. We're not supposed to be on it.
No. Banked was never supposed to be in a tiny boat.
No.
If Banked ever went into a tiny boat, it was only on the estuaries of Uruguay. That's where he belonged. That's where his family was.
Thank you, Henry. Beautiful.
No, while searching for more clues, divers also found the body of Karen Sprinkler just 50 feet away. When they inspected the knots used to tie the bodies to the weights, they found that whoever had done the knots had used what was called underwriter's knots. And these knots were specifically used by electricians. And so police had their first real clue. After Linda Sallee, Brudos decided to change venues and tactics for his next victim. Just simply abducting or tricking women wasn't enough for him anymore. Now he wanted to play with them psychologically. Jerry started haunting Oregon State University, hanging around campus, and bothering women to go out on a date with him. And when that didn't work, he started calling dorms, asking for Pam or Susan or Tanya, just random names in the hopes that he would be connected with anyone.
Hi, excuse me, I'm looking for, is La Quinta her? Is La Quinta there?
You called the La Quinta Inn. We don't actually have anyone named.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's not so common name there. So do you have a, is there a Howard Johnson there?
No, that's a...
I mean, I'm just looking at lists of hotels.
Yeah. Are you
These
looking
are not
to...
women's names.
And he was actually successful with this 3 times, and each time he told the girl on the other end, and this is what he opened with, is that he was a Vietnam vet with ESP.
Oh, my good. Did he mean PTSD?
Nope, he meant ESP.
Actually, it's more like I'm a Vietnam vet. I should have finished this with ESPN. I have all of the ESPNs. I have 1 through 9. You know what I mean? Because you can watch all the pool that you want to watch, all the billiards on ESPN 6. And then ESPN 9 is just John Madden stuck on a toilet on a cam.
Oh, man. I think that channel would do fairly well, actually.
He would then ask them out for quote-unquote coke and conversation. Not cocaine.
Oh, okay.
Coca-Cola.
Well, do cocaine, and then you're going to have a lot of conversation.
You're going to have a lot of conversation.
Well, the first 2 girls he called turned him down, but the third said yes. They got together for a date, and Jerry was a creep almost immediately. Because by this time, the murders of Linda Sally and Karen Sprinkler were common knowledge. So Jerry decided, as a lot of these guys do, to talk hypothetically about the murders.
So this is his sort of if I did it moment.
Yes, it is. Well, it's the same thing that Ed Kemper did when he went over to the cop bar and he would talk to them about the murders that he had committed hypothetically. He's like, well, if I was this guy, I might have done this or I might have done that. Or John Wayne Gacy doing the ride-alongs with the cops that were following after the disappearance of Robert Peist. These guys do this a lot. And this is like kind of a psychological flaw in these guys, that it's still like it's another way for them to feel superior.
And we're going to see this extend to the police, but it started off with the women and we're saying he is getting off sexually on this, on seeing them being made uncomfortable about him talking about the crimes that are happening. And he likes it because it's basically putting him in a power position immediately where women are kind of already on guard, and now he's needling them, like talking about this very fucking frightening real thing that's happening all around them to girls that look just like them.
Yeah, so you got this guy who is like Ignatius from Confederacy of Dunces.
Kinda.
Just obnoxious, fat, disgusting, hanging around college campus. Again, were there any red flags? There's a lot of red flags here.
Yeah.
That no one is really picking up on.
24/7. You never just randomly answer a fucking phone call. I guess technically Tinder's the same thing.
I guess.
You're just meeting up with randos. They could say whatever it is that they want about what they are and what they do.
Well, first, when Jerry was out on the date, he asked the girl how she knew Jerry wasn't going to take her to the river and strangle her. That's what he opened with.
Do you think it's just because I look too kind? Or do you think it's because I look too fucking awesome? You know, when I was a child in high school, I didn't have a lot of time for classes because I was too busy going to a mental asylum, so I was pretty cool. I had stuff going on.
Well, you should have clarified coke and extremely creepy conversation.
And then he said, and this is an actual quote from him, this is what the girl said that Jerry told her.
Okay, think something sad. Think about those 2 girls that were killed. Yeah, I'll start with that. That was an awful thing that happened, right? Isn't it fucking bad? All right, now think about something else sad. Think about, like, the Buffalo Bills and how they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. That's sad.
It's extremely sad. I also love, again, when Jerry Brudos slowly becomes Charles Ng. It's like my favorite bizarre muddled
right
accent in a while. And who is more annoying, Charles Ng or Jerry Brudos? More annoying.
I think Charles Ng only because of just the strength of his character. Charles Ng is he's louder. I'd say he's 5 decibels louder than Jerry Brudos. It's just a matter of volume.
Yeah. Jerry Brudos isn't in the break room practicing martial arts and screaming like Charles Ng was.
You don't know what I bring to the banquet!
Oh my goodness. I love the conversations that this show inspires.
Well, Jerry followed the think about something sad opener by asking this girl why she wanted to be raped like the other girls. And he then ended the date by saying he needed to go work on an engine, again referencing the girls in the river. He's just trying to be as creepy and as awful as he possibly can be.
Yeah, you gotta understand what a struggle it is, you know what I mean? Because I tried Toyotas, but they just weren't doing anything right. And then I went over and I tried a Fiat engine, and it just didn't really that didn't get for me either. But really, it was just when I got the Chevy, I was like, now this right here, this is like a rock.
But thankfully, instead of just trying to write it off as just a bad date, the girl immediately called the police when she got home. And since the papers had never reported the sexual assault, police knew this was something worth looking into. Because, I'm sure there were plenty of people calling in with tips, but since he had not, this is why cops don't release all the details from a crime.
Right.
Is because they're waiting for somebody to trip up.
Yep.
Yeah, and Jerry Brudos tripped up. And what's more is Linda Sallee was a student at OSU, so police had already been canvassing the area asking about suspicious characters. And women had already told them about the flabby, freckled 30-something bothering women around campus. And now a person with that same description had given details about the murders that weren't public knowledge. And Jerry hadn't left a number, so police told the co-ed to call them as soon as Jerry called back. And a few weeks later, he did. He told her that he was in the neighborhood and asked if she could meet him in about 15 minutes. Because, of course, he's thinking, he's planned it.
Right.
He's thinking, this is going to be the woman, this is going to be the day. I'm going to make her come down as fast as she can so she doesn't have time to think about it and I can surprise her. But she told him that she'd be ready in an hour.
You do it. It's a very common thing that they do on cold calls and sales and shit like that. The idea is that you basically raise the stakes and you say shit of being like, you have to do this right now.
Right.
And you put a weird sense of anxiety in someone. Being like this, you got to come in and we got to jump on this deal right now. This is a deal. This is Coke and conversation. Right. And it doesn't come around that often.
Yeah. And after she told him she'd meet him in an hour, she hung up and called the cops immediately. And when Jerry showed up an hour later, the police were there waiting for him.
Nice.
And Jerry, probably not knowing that the Nazis to weigh down the bodies had given away his profession, freely offered up that he was an electrician by trade.
Honestly, it's very creepy. So the cops came. Jerry was sitting in the lobby waiting for her to come down, and he saw the cops, and he did not react at all. They came, and they asked him, what's up? Saying, we're canvassing for people in the neighborhood, just asking questions. We're looking for this killer. And he just laid this whole line down, be like, yeah, I'm just an electrician. I'm here in town. I'm helping my buddy work on a project. And I'm just here. I'm just killing time in this lobby. So he lied, not knowing that he was already they were casing him, and he didn't think about it, but he thought he was being super fucking smart. So he lied and then left.
Yeah. Right. So he's having his Chris Hansen Dateline NBC moment here. I don't know if they offered him cookies, which is always the strangest thing about that show, to catch a predator.
Lemonade.
It would be interesting to be a producer on that show with the just in charge of the food.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of snacks.
Make sure there's cookies. And then you think about those people, once you realize that you are to catch a predator, you should start slamming those cookies, because that's the last time you're going to get good cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the last cookies you're ever going to have, man.
Very unfortunate you guys gave me macadamia nut cookies. It's my least favorite cookie.
Well, Jerry, he gave the cops his real name, and he gave them his real address. They went to his house, and Jerry freely volunteered that he'd been living in the same neighborhood where Linda Slauson had disappeared the previous year, and he freely offered up that he regularly drove along I-5 where Jan Whitney's car was found. And as far as murders number 3 and 4 went, the department store where Jerry abducted Karen Sprinkler was only a few miles from his house, and the spot in the river where he dumped their bodies was only a few miles from where he worked.
But it's actually okay, because what you do is that what we know about serial killers, especially now, is that they work in a very small radius. Unless they are really booking around like Richard Ramirez did in order to try to throw off the scent and all that bullshit. If you're not aware, which especially at the time there's no writings about serial killers, you keep it all they know that there's a central spoke. And as soon as they see oh shit, all this stuff's within easy access of this shit, it's right there, and the guy's an electrician, it's right there. We just need to watch his ass.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Richard Ramirez could ever throw off the scent. Horrible breath. Horrible breath on that
Horrible
guy.
breath.
Yeah, because at this point, all of this stuff is totally circumstantial.
Right.
He just happened to be in the same area, and he just happens to, he just happens to be an electrician, and the knots just happen to be tied the way an electrician ties the knots, and he happens to match the description of a creepy guy going around bothered women.
It's adding up pretty quick here.
It's definitely adding up, but it's still circumstantial. This stuff isn't going to hold up in a court of law. But then Jerry let the cops search his garage, and there...
Incredible.
Oh, no! And there, cops saw wires tied in underwriters' knots, just like the knots on the bodies. So while Jerry was talking about God knows what, one of the cops slipped a knot into his pocket. And then the investigators happened to notice just how much goddamn nylon rope was lying around. Now, it is impossible to imagine how someone could have this much arrogance, but Jerry actually suggested, without prompting, that cops should take a piece of the rope with them.
Yeah.
Hey, couldn't help but notice you're looking at all my piles of rope, huh? It's kind of fun, right? I'm like a cool guy. You don't really see a lot of guys who got a lot of rope. You know what I mean? Most of the times, because I was in high school, I spent half the time in a mental asylum, so it made me pretty cool. So I keep all these piles of rope around so you can take a picture to last longer. But you don't even last longer than a picture. Just have some rope. Go have some. I have some to spare. You enjoy yourself. Go ahead, play with it. Do whatever you got to do. Look at this. You're hanging out your fly. It's like a thin little peanut. But then if you put it in a bowl, it's like a bunch of spaghetti. You can do anything you want with the rope.
Those are two things that you could theoretically do with the rope.
You can also hang up a bunch of girls from the ceiling with it.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. So he really, in his mind, he's like proving he thinks he's out smarting them.
Yeah, he completely thinks he's outsmarting him, and it's like I was saying earlier about the thrill, half of the thrill being the possibility of getting caught. The closer he gets to getting caught and still getting away with it, the bigger the thrill is.
Yeah, he's ratcheting up. He's ratcheting up is like it's making him a hard little dumpling.
Yeah.
The longer this is filled up with this shit, it's really ratcheting up. And he also, at this point, he says in his confessions later on, is that he thought that they couldn't get anything on him because he got rid of the bodies. He's like, they need the bodies, they need all the weapons, they need all the shit, but you don't realize like what he's doing. He just thinks he's brilliant. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, and he actually cut a piece himself from the same coil of rope he had used to tie his victims' bodies to automotive parts to keep them from floating to the surface. And of course, the crime labs immediately matched the wire, the rope, and the knots from the garage to the river. And along with the positive identification from the 12-year-old girl Jerry had tried to abduct months earlier, police had enough to arrest Jerry Brudos within days of first meeting this guy, if not before.
Good.
And Brudos was caught on May 30th, 1969, as he and his family were driving, bags packed, to the Canadian border. It only took a few hours in the box for Jerry to confess to all of his crimes.
And it seemed like he really wanted to. Like, honestly, all of this was him sort of opening up to the cops. He likes being a part of the investigation of himself because it fits something with him. And what I thought it was very interesting was that when they arrested him, he was asleep in the back seat while his wife was driving. And when they took him back to get changed to be put in prison clothes, he took off his pants and he was wearing a set of satin panties. And they all looked at him and he was like, "My skin is very sensitive." That's exactly what he said.
Well, I guess he doesn't get to keep the panties, huh?
He did not get to keep the panties.
But he's right, though. Honestly, I've looked at it like panties are made out of nice material. They're super soft. The MeUndies are very similar to that. That's a good plug for them because they're very soft and it's very nice on your balls and your butthole because I have very little butt meat.
Hold on a second
so
here,
it's nice
Henry.
to have the soft fabric up against my butthole.
Are you wearing panties on a regular basis now?
Look.
Don't.
No, these are boxer briefs. These are boxer briefs. These are boxer briefs. No, I won't wear panties because I tried to wear satin boxers once and my asshole just chewed them up like it was fucking Carl Reiner trying to make its way through a turkey dinner. Like,
Oh, my goodness.
I can't wear satin.
All right. Well, that concludes Henry's underwear portion of the show. Hopefully, we never return to that segment.
Panties are fun, but it's not
All right. I don't want it. Can we
It's
move?
not a long-term solution because there's no room for the junk. You got to tuck.
I get it.
You got to tuck it back. You got to really tuck it back.
No,
well.
you need something with a tube. You
I
need something that
understand.
holds all the mess in there. Something that holds all the bungies in there.
Well, Jerry, even though he had already confessed, he still thought that he could get away with everything.
Oh, my God.
The day after he confessed, in detail, he called Darcy and told her to burn all of his photographs and a bag of clothes he had in the garage.
What? You want me to burn what? Because that's what she said, is that she also had no clue what he was talking about. She's like, what bag of clothes you had in the garage? What kind of shit you have in the attic? And she walked up there and it was just filled with all these panties that were not her panties. And was she in for a surprise?
I don't know. This Darcy woman seems very complicit, and now she's acting like Madeline Kahn in the movie Clue. She's burning all the photos. This puts her, in my opinion, in the realm of criminality.
Well, she did not burn the most incriminating
But she burned
photos.
some of the photos.
She burned a couple of photos, and the general theory is that she only burned a couple of the photos so she could have a bit of an insurance policy in case Jerry ever did actually get away with it. If he
How
ever
is he he
did
getting
get
away
out.
with it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean,
all
at
right.
this point, you really wonder how Darcy looks at Jerry Brudos at this point. Like, how does Darcy, what do you think, Henry? How does Darcy see Jerry Brudos at this point in her life?
He's fun. He's fancy. He's free.
I think so.
that obviously it's just the deepest form of denial in a way, where you've really just to the point where you're aiding and abetting a murderer. Where I think that you, at some point, you have to break through whatever is your comfort zone because it's what she's living in. She's living in a bubble. I think it was kind of the same thing we looked at when we talked about Eric Harris and stuff like that. When you're like looking at this kid that's something is obviously fucking up.
Yeah.
But you are just not going to even acknowledge it, because if you do, you have to do something about it, which involves then putting yourself in harm's way. Like, because think about this. How far is the jump between you becoming, you're his wife, and then if you discover all the crimes, that you become one of the victims?
Yeah.
You already seen the kind of shit that he was doing cryptic shit. He was choking her and stuff that she wasn't into. He was putting bags over her head and taking pictures of it like back in the day, and she saw the look in his eyes. She saw the Brudos glaze that would go over when he did that kind of shit, and she knows that he's fucking dangerous.
I mean, it just, Anyway, it seems like if her comfort zone is a garage that has multiple corpses inside of it, there's something wrong with her.
Well, she didn't know there were corpses in the garage.
She didn't want to know. Anyway, I'm not. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, the point is she didn't burn the most incriminating photos.
Oh, okay.
Because when police examined him, they found one photo in particular in which Jerry had placed a mirror underneath the skirt of one of his victims as she hung in the air. And there, in the reflection of the mirror, was the dead-eyed face of Jerry Brudos.
And you know she saw that face before.
Yeah.
Of course.
She's just like, ah! And just threw it back in the pile.
Yeah, her husband looks like Christian Bale from The Machinist. I mean, he's just obviously soulless.
Opposite. He's the opposite
Well,
of it
he's fat
because
and
he was so
ugly, yeah.
fat.
Yeah. Right. That
The
is
look
true.
in the eyes.
But the look in the eyes, that's right.
Yeah. Now, after half-heartedly trying an insanity defense, Brudos pled guilty to 3 of the 4 murders and was sentenced to life in prison. But the system wasn't done with his family just yet. There was still the matter of Darcy, because the DA's office, just like you, they thought there was no way that this woman could not have known that there was something going on. So she was charged as an accessory to the murder of Karen Sprinkler.
Okay.
But after 7 hours of jury deliberation, Darcy Brudos was found not guilty.
I don't know.
She
I don't
just
get it.
sounds like she's a daft woman. She reminds me somewhat of the what's the mom from All in the Family.
Sure. Complicit in racism. And we don't know what was the name of the main dude in that?
Archie Bunker.
Archie Bunker. Probably a killer. We never saw his garage. They never did show his garage, so that's a good point.
The only thing he ever killed was a 6-pack and a roast chicken. Love that guy.
Darcy and her children changed their names, moved away from Salem, and are more than likely still living their lives out here somewhere in the United States.
Maybe they're the Bumpkies. Is it what is it, the Bumbies?
The Bumbies.
The Bumbies.
The Bumdies. You know who else would I think would have
Bumbies.
been? You know who could have really used a Darcy Brudos? Elliot Spitzer.
Stand by your man. Yep.
As for Jerry's run in prison, he was never particularly popular among the inmates and was actually sodomized about 6 months into his stay on New Year's Eve.
Guys, let's listen. I know we're all caught up in the fever. The countdown is happening right now, but just please don't. All right, well, at least let me sing while I do it. I'm not gonna make this sexy for you. I'm not making it sexy for you.
We can allow that because Jerry Brudos is a horrible person.
Yes.
Yeah, Jerry Brudos is the fucking worst, man. He's awful. But the guards loved him.
The guards loved him.
The guards absolutely. He was very popular among staff. Well,
That's not a good thing to be actually in prison. You don't really want to be the staff's number one guy.
Well,
No.
he installed the entire cable TV system there. He worked up this great record-keeping system with their computers because he was a natural at computers once they started being put into personal use. And he was also in charge of repairing, restocking, and just generally doing maintenance over the vending machines.
So basically, he did what I do for my parents every Christmas when I go home.
Right, yeah.
You restock your father's vending machine?
Yeah, because his dad has to wear oven mitts because he drank himself and smoked so many cigarettes he can't function.
My father
His hands
is
don't
suffering from diabetes, and he is unchecked.
Yes.
And it will be sad. There will be a time where I will have to do a sad moment where I have to memorialize my father, and everyone's going to have to deal with it.
Well, while Jerry did do a fair amount of work in prison, most of his free time was spent with the many shoe catalogs he requested through the mail throughout the years. And he was able to just keep those way out in the open.
Honestly, though, that's porno for him. The prison should have not let him have shoes.
No, that's the
catalogs.
best part about having a fetish is that then anything can be your porno if that's your fetish. Like if you like raw chicken, going to the grocery store, you could come all over everything.
Yeah, but that's not-
kind of fun.
I guess it's good, like Horse and Carriage Weekly, if you're really into carriages or something. I don't know, I suppose.
And just a little over 10 years ago, Jerry Brudos died of liver cancer at the age of 67 in Oregon State Penitentiary.
All right.
Wow.
Yep, Jerry Brudos.
And Jerry Lewis died today. Wow. I'm going to say this episode's in memory of Jerry Lewis, because if there's anybody that physically reminds me of Jerry Lewis, it's Jerry Bruce.
I don't. This is a false equivalency here. Jerry Lewis, a very talented comedian.
Jerry's dropping like flies.
Oh my
Jerry's
goodness!
dropping like
All the
flies.
Jerrys.
Someone look out for Jerry Rice.
Oh my goodness!
Where's Jerry Stiller?
Not a good time to be a Jerry. Well, that was a great couple of episodes there. Very informative. Another horrible person.
Yeah. Just one more.
Yep.
My
and
goodness.
it only took 3 tries to get this episode in the can.
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm really proud of all of us. You know, everybody's you karate guys playing grab ass upstairs anymore.
See, thing is, when you rent a studio, when you find a new home.
Uh-oh, Marcus is getting his Texas high voice on. So
when you rent a
you might be a podcast company if you rent a studio.
You don't think to ask if there is a kung fu studio directly above you.
Well, what
And
do we
that
learn, Marcus?
We learn to always ask if there is a kung fu studio directly above you. I mean, come on,
It
guys.
is difficult to ask them to quiet down.
Oh yeah.
Because they have a certain set of skills.
Oh, my God.
We are podcast comedians. Our bodies are atrophying as we do our work.
A key tenet of kung fu is grunting. We're getting a lot of the grunts.
Yeah, we're going through some growing pains here. You know, things are changing, all for the better. But we appreciate you guys being patient with all of us. Yes, it did take 4 tries to put out 2 episodes here. So it is.
This is good.
We're going through just as much pain as you are. So,
But guess what?
Yes.
Don't.
Growing pains leads to stretch marks, and stretch marks make you beautiful. Cellulite Saturday. This is big. I think it's brave of us that we're showing our sweat.
I guess so.
Celebrating ourselves.
I don't like the analogy as a person who went through multiple years of growing pains and has horrible stretch marks. They're ugly. On me anyway.
Look at
Well,
me,
you don't
man.
like
I got them all on my sides. I got them on my sides. I got them on my bum. But you won't look at that.
No, I will not, but unfortunately, I'm forced to regularly as you show off your rear end on a daily basis.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for listening, everyone. We want to say we're going to Canada.
Yeah.
We got Canada coming up here, so get tickets for that.
Vancouver and Calgary. We're coming on the 24th and the 25th, I believe. That's this Thursday and Friday. Go to lastpodcastontheleft.com. For all of our tour dates, we're also coming to Toronto. We're coming to Pittsburgh. We're coming to North Carolina. We're coming to Omaha. We've got a lot of shows left in this year, man.
A lot of shows, and one of the biggest shows that we're extremely excited about it is in October.
Yeah, make sure you come to our Samhain Gala, presented by us and Natalie Jean in Los Angeles at the El Rey Theater, October 28th. Buy those tickets. We're already halfway sold out.
Yeah,
it happened immediately.
Yeah, they went on sale on Friday, and we in just a few days we've sold half of the tickets. So get them now. Do not wait. If you want to come, do not wait. Get those tickets as soon as you possibly can. We very much and we appreciate everybody who buys those tickets right when they go on sale. Man, we can't wait to come out and entertain y'all again here in Los Angeles.
It really does.
It's going to
be a lot of fun.
Yep, a lot of people from the network will be there. Eddie Tunes and I think KB, Kevin Barnett from Roundtable of Gentlemen will show up. So it'll be really fun. And thanks for supporting all the the shows here. Abe Lincoln's Top Half for everything political. We're going to get through this together. Roundtable of Gentlemen, Page 7, Movie Signs with the Mads, Sex and Other Human Activities, all the great shows here.
That's right.
And we got some new shows coming up as well that we're really excited to talk about in the future.
Oh, absolutely. We got some. If you speak Espanol,
Yes.
then you will be very excited for a new product or a new project that we've got coming down the pike. It's going to be out here in just a couple weeks. And we've got a lot of exciting stuff here happening here in the Podcast Palace. But we're possibly going to move to a new Podcast Palace.
Is that what we're calling it, the
I think it's
Podcast
a new
Palace?
Podcast Palace. Podcast Palace. I like it a lot.
Eddie named it on Roundtable.
Oh, he did?
The Podcast Palace.
Yeah, I
yes.
like it. Podcast Palace. I like that a lot. So make sure you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Henry Loves You, at Marcus Parks, at Ben Kissel. Follow us on Instagram at Dr. Fantasty, at Marcus Parks, at Ben Kissel, the number 1. And follow Last Podcast on the Left on all of the bullshit at LP on the Left. Get off of Facebook.
Please. I haven't been on Facebook in many months. I don't miss it. I think I've been off of
goodness.
Facebook for like...
Do they send you the needy emails?
They did. They sent me an email today.
Facebook did?
Facebook.
Oh,
sent
they
me-
said they call you lazy.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm so livid with Facebook. Do you get the hey lazy?
It didn't. No, it wasn't. Hey, lazy. It was like log back into Facebook with just one click.
No.
It's like no, you can fuck.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself. I'm
Yep.
done with that stupid goddamn fucking site.
Anyway, all right, everyone, hail yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Elgin.
Hail me.
And a Magustalations, one and all.
Yeah.
Praise be to Satan. Bring chaos to our enemies.
What? Is that a new tag that you're working on?
I like it.
I don't know.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
You've tried melatonin, the white noise machine, the blackout curtains, the magnesium, and you're sleeping fine. Not great, just fine. At some point, you have to consider the 4-year-old pillow is doing more damage than the magnesium is fixing. Coop Sleep Goods is running a bundle sale July 9th through the 20th. The starter bundle is the move. 2 pillows plus a sheet set, 40% off. And we're not saying it'll fix everything. We're just saying you've tried everything else. Coop's pillows are adjustable, designed to fit how you sleep, not just tolerate it. Mix and match any 2 pillows at 25% off or go all in on the starter bundle. One real upgrade beats 6 mediocre ones. Head to coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy for 40% off the starter bundle and 25% off all other bundles. Looking to scale your outcomes beyond search and social? Realize is Taboola's AI-powered performance platform, driving incremental growth by engaging high-intent users across a global network of 600 million daily active users on premium websites. Reach and convert your audience on premium websites and placements where your customers actually spend their time. For more information and to create your account today, go to realize.com/podcast.